This week we are continuing to look at the skincare triangle. Last week we had prevention. This week it's all about renewal. A lot of this is going to be based on moisturization because the way that a lot of skincare products work is by enhancing the skin water content, which improves and reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Very basically, the skincare works by reducing the transepidermal water loss and causes a coating over the outer layer of the skin. This will be using something like a mineral oil, shea butter, lanolin, and it creates an environment to allow the skin the opportunity to restore its own natural water balance. However, in conditions below 40% humidity, water will still be lost. I actually have a really strong dehumidifier in my home and I have it set to 30%. Yeah. Hyaluronic acid is a natural humectant and it's found in the skin. You may know it from dermal filler applications, but of course it's also available in a topical format. Other humectants include sorbitol, urea, propylene glycol. A good moisturiser will have a combination of both occlusive materials that sit on the surface of the skin to hold everything in, and also a humectant which will draw the water in. One of my favourite things in this category is exfoliation. Everyone by now knows about alpha hydroxy acids, so malic acid, glycolic acid, and the way in which these acids can disrupt the ionic bonding in the stratum granulosum to allow the rough, scaly skin to slough off. But they're actually about more than this. So you get a thinned stratum corneum, which improves the light refraction from the skin. You get decreased production of excess melanin, so that's an improvement in hyperpigmentation. Improved synthesis of your native glycosaminoglycans, so that's your own natural humectants, and increased dermal thickness as well. I find that in clinic sometimes patients can be a little bit resistant to the idea of adding in an acid to their regime because they're really nervous about using something they perceive might be irritating. It doesn't have to be like that, just use the acids. So using the acid in combination with the moisturization will improve the skin luminosity. It's not just about using a moisturizer. You have to get rid of all the old dead stuff first. BHAs, so salicylic acid, a little bit different. You'll often hear of salicylic acid as being used in oily areas or areas where there are a lot of open pores. Salicylic acid is oil soluble, so that makes sense. What you may not be aware of is that salicylic acid will work from the outermost layers of the skin downwards, whereas glycolic acid, for example, works on the lower levels of the stratum corneum upwards to exfoliate that off. And this is because it's water soluble, so we can get down a bit further. Most people these days are on board with the fact that using a retinol is probably a good thing. It regulates the growth of epidermal cells and promotes the differentiation of different cell types. The key thing when using any kind of retinoid is tolerance. So you just have to be able to find one that you can tolerate. Retinol palmitate is the most stable of all the vitamin A esters, however it's not very biologically active. Retinol is converted in small amounts in the skin to retinoic acid, which is the thing that's actually active. There are a few products now which combine different types of vitamin A in order to reduce irritation, such as Retinsphere. A lot of people think that you have to be using tretinoin all the time in order to really see a difference in your skin, and I find that that's really not the case. So what products am I using from the middle of the pyramid? Renewal. This is the first one. Again, it's from Skinbetter Science. They've got some really good products. This is their Alpharet clearing serum. It's a little bit difficult to categorize something like this because it does contain bits of various different points on the skincare pyramid. So their proprietary technology is a mixture of a retinoid and lactic acid together in one molecule. This particular product also contains glycolic acid as well. And you know me, I really love my acids. But confusingly, it also has peptides in there to improve the skin firmness and resiliency. And it has some antioxidants as well. So we've got vitamin C and E, coenzyme Q10, green tea extract, allantoin, but also some moisturisers, so some ceramides and hyaluronic acid. This is another favourite product of mine. Dr. Levy is probably more well known for his stem cell potions, but this is a really good exfoliator. It does contain 10% cellulose microbeads, so you're going to get some physical exfoliation with it. It also has a bunch of different acids in here. So we have AHAs, glycolic and mandelic, pyruvic acid, citric acid, and something a bit like salicylic acid. It also has pomegranate enzyme in it to help stimulate skin oxygenation. Again, with the acids, this is one of my favorite acids because it's not too strong, so a variety of different skin types can use it. So we've got salicylic, glycolic, pyruvic, some retinol, lactobionic acid, which is a PHA, something we haven't really touched on. So a polyhydroxy acid is often said to be more gentle than an AHA. It also contains their own thing, which is called Pt.2. It's basically a way of carrying the acid into the skin, and it's said to negate the irritation and negative side effects of using a high strength of acids. I've certainly found it effective for myself. Okay, so that was Renewal. Next week it's all going to be about regeneration. I'll see you then.